What are the government's latest support measures for the COVID-19 pandemic? Let's look at the 2021 COVID-19 government grants and payments. Service New South Wales will administer once-off payments for eligible New South Wales businesses with wages below $10 million. These businesses can claim grants ranging from $7,500 to $15,000 if they have been impacted by COVID-19 restrictions. Businesses, including sole traders and not-for-profits, will be eligible for the 2021 COVID-19 Business Grant if they meet the following criteria: have an ABN registered in New South Wales, or can demonstrate that they are physically located and primarily operating in New South Wales as at 1 June 2021, have total Australian annual wages below $10 million as at 1 July 2020, have an aggregated annual turnover of between $75,000 and $50 million inclusive for the year ended 30 June 2020, have business costs for which there is no other government support available, and maintain their employee headcount as at 13 July 2021 for the period which the business is receiving payments under this grant and the Job Saver scheme. Notably, there are 3 different grant amounts which will be available depending on the decline in turnover experienced during the restrictions. These 3 different grant amounts appear in 3 different tiers. The first being $7,500 for a decline of 30% or more, $10,500 for a decline of 50% or more, or $15,000 for a decline of 70% or more. Registrations opened from the 19th of July 2021. The government also specifies that this grant funding may be used for the following expenses: utilities, wages and rent, financial, legal and other advice to support business continuity planning, marketing and communications activities to develop the business, the cost of perishable goods that can no longer be used, or other activities to support the operation of the business. Service New South Wales will be the source to apply for the New South Wales Small and Medium-Sized Business Support Payments, which apply from week 4 of the Sydney lockdown. Notably, this assistance will be cut when the current lockdown restrictions are eased or when the National Hotspot Declaration is removed. The New South Wales businesses considered as eligible will be those with an annual turnover of between $75,000 and $50 million that can demonstrate a 30% reduction in turnover compared to an equivalent 2-week period in 2019. Eligible entities will receive 40% of their New South Wales payroll payments at a minimum of $1,500 and a maximum of $10,000 per week. To receive the payment, entities will be required to maintain their full-time, part-time, and long-term casual staffing level as of 13 July 2021. For non-employing businesses, for example, eligible sole traders, the payment will be set at $1,000 per week. The government will also issue micro-business grants. Eligible micro-businesses, including sole traders, with a turnover of between $30,000 and $75,000 that have experienced a decline in turnover of at least 30%, will be eligible through Service New South Wales for payments of $1,500 per fortnight of restrictions from late July 2021. The COVID-19 disaster payment was originally introduced in response to the previous 2-week Victorian lockdown and was made applicable to all future Commonwealth-declared COVID-19 hotspots. The payment is not applicable for the first 7 days of an eligible lockdown. It is payable to eligible recipients from the 2nd week. Now, in response to the current New South Wales lockdown, the federal government has extended this support for individuals who have lost work and pay as a result of the COVID-19 lockdowns. Specifically, from week 4 of the lockdown, the COVID-19 disaster payment will increase from $500 to $600 each week if a person has lost 20 hours or more of work a week, or from $325 to $375 each week if a person has lost between 8 and 20 hours of work or a full day of their usual work hours per week. This will be a recurring payment for approved recipients for as long as the Commonwealth declared hotspot and lockdown restrictions remain in place. Furthermore, from 18 July 2021, this payment will be available to eligible New South Wales residents outside Commonwealth declared hotspots, which will be funded directly by the New South Wales government. You will need to apply for this via your MyGov account, which is made through Services Australia, commonly also referred to as Centrelink. For advice or help with respect to any of these COVID-19 payments and grants, please contact one of our experienced accountants by calling us on 1300 Quinns or alternatively +61 2 9223 9166 to arrange a teleconference or appointment.